Boy, is it good to be a hockey fan at this time of the year. Especially if you're a Blue Jays fan at the same time. Or, I guess, a Mariners fan too. What the heck. I digress. You know, I initially had a plan for this video. I wanted to go out there and talk about the Montreal Canadiens, and talk about some guys that are doing well. But then I thought, you know, I also kind of want to do that about Detroit as well. Can we split it up into 2 videos? But then I was like, you know what? Nah, there's a lot to talk about today. A lot of different stories, a lot of interesting narratives, and it's going to be fun for us to dive into everything as I see fit on this channel today. So we're going to be smushing and conforming our 2 Habs and Red Wings stories into one, because I think these topics work hand in hand, and plus it's always nice to get some collaborative comment sections between fan bases. What are we talking about today? Well, we are talking about guys that are showing up and doing better than ever. For both of 2 of my favorite teams, because in Montreal, I wanted to give another shout out to the headliner of yesterday's Habs and Blackhawks post-game video, the guy that we included in the title and the thumbnail of the commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Zack Bolduc, because my oh my, has he been amazing. Bolduc is in a spot where he has legitimately changed the way Montreal's top power play has functioned, and I think maybe it's a little unfair to say that it's strictly Bolduc who has led to that, because if you haven't noticed, Montreal's top power play looks a lot different than how it did in the playoffs last year. You don't have Demidov and you don't have Patrick Laine. Instead, you have the big 3, Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, add on Hudson, and then add on Bolduc. The theory is the second power play is equally strong with the likes of Laine, Demidov, and Noah Dobson, but man oh man was Bolduc seen as an outlier heading into the year. But how could you argue with the fact that right now, Zack Bolduc in 3 games played has 3 goals and an assist? You can even debate that he should have had another goal against the Detroit Red Wings. Bolduc is on pace for 82 goals in 82 games played, which is obviously going to happen, and you also have to think about the fact that he had 19 in 72 games last year with St. Louis, and already in that season people were saying, hey, this guy's looking pretty good, he's already made the NHL, and he's pretty young, watch out. Now he's playing with Ivan Demidov at even strength, and he's on the power play, and he's one of the most productive Canadiens out there. Not only that, but he's earning it. He's putting himself in the right spot. He's making his opportunities count. He's going to the net when there are rebounds, and he's getting open ice and free when his teammates are looking to pass. Zack Bolduc has been so effective, and he's really looking like a total mistake for the St. Louis Blues, a guy that they probably should not have had available in a trade, especially for Logan Mailloux coming back in exchange. Those Blues, by the way, feeling the Blues a little bit. Dylan Holloway, that guy doesn't have a point on the season yet. It's been 2 games. Come on, Holloway. Same with Jordan Kyrou. Same with Logan Mailloux. The Blues have had a pretty difficult time so far in scoring, but Zack Bolduc, he himself has more goals than every single one of the St. Louis Blues players at the moment. Meanwhile, let's talk about the other guy that the Montreal Canadiens acquired that Islanders fans were conditioning all of us around the hockey world to hate. Noah Dobson, ladies and gentlemen, has been nothing short of amazing in this season. I'll admit, he didn't look great in the preseason. Dobson was a little shaky, he wasn't really the best, and I think you can say that there were some decision lapses that didn't really proclaim all too well. But once the regular season began, oh boy, this guy's been put in the spot where now he's trusted, he's getting 20 minutes a game. He had only 19 minutes in the 5-1 win against Detroit, but he had 23 and 22 minutes in the other 2 games. Dobson has been useful, and pairing him alongside of Mike Matheson has been such a good decision for Kent Hughes and Martin St. Louis, because this pairing is just a really solid pairing. These guys can skate, they can move the puck, they can facilitate offense, and they can defend. It's an all-around nightmare pairing for other teams trying to make things happen. And Dobson, Oh boy, this is why he's getting paid $9.5 million a year. I know Lane Hutson is technically the best defenseman on the team, especially when you look at the points angle, but when you think about guys that can just do everything, I think Dobson's got to be right up there, man. Meanwhile, speaking about right-handed defenders, I wanted to take our conversation over to the Detroit Red Wings as well. And take a look at this tweet posted by JPhoenix7 after the Detroit Red Wings defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. He said here, Travis Hamonic never needs to see the ice on Little Caesars Arena again, in my opinion. Jacob Bernard-Docker has been a massive improvement on the previous occupant and a perfect third-line D. Competent defensive play is exactly what we need on that bottom pairing. Now, Jacob Bernard-Docker, of course, was an Ottawa Senator. He was traded over to Buffalo in the Dylan Cousins and Josh Norris trade, then he became a free agent, and then he signed with Detroit. And when you're thinking about guys that came over for free, obviously Travis Hamonic is in that boat as well, but spoiler alert, Travis Hamonic kinda sucks, and he really did not show off well to open things up for the Detroit Red Wings 2025-2026 campaign. Bernard-Docker, on the other hand, 25 years old, he was born in the same year I was born, he's actually just a few days older than I am. He's made himself an impact on the Red Wings, and he's looked fine. Very serviceable as a third-pairing defenseman that was able to secure his team a victory. This is the guy that I think, if he's able to play 82 games, which I guess he shouldn't now because he already missed the first game of the season against Montreal, but if he's able to play for the rest of the season, and he's able to be as solid and stable as he was last night, then this will be such a home run signing. Now, of course, I don't expect him to be lights out, shut down every single game. It's kind of difficult for anybody to be that consistent over 82, but for Bernard-Docker, this is a sign of what the Red Wings have chilling in their press box. And Travis Hamonic, Justin Hall, sorry, but you guys, based off the way these other players are playing, I don't think you're going to have a chance to see the ice ever again, as long as Seider, Sandin Pellikka, and Bernard-Docker are able to do their thing on the right. Also, those three hyphenated names are really interesting. Brandsteg Newgard, Sandin Pellikka, Bernard-Docker, the first time in NHL history a lineup has featured three hyphenated names. You know who's not hyphenated, though? Patrick Kane. Yeah, great segue. Oh my goodness, man. Patrick Kane is on a mission, and I think this is one of these seasons where we can fully dive into and expect the best in years out of Patty Showtime 88 Kane. He's a player that was so good for so many years, but he got taken out due to the surgery that he had. He was a 90-point player before the season where he got traded over to New York, and then the subsequent surgery he had that summer, which led to him becoming a late addition by the Detroit Red Wings. Might I remind you, Patrick Kane was under a point per game in his first season with the Red Wings after getting signed. Then he had the season he had last year, 59 points, 72 games. Not great, of course, but you could definitely tell that Patrick Kane was checked out around the November-ish period of the year once Derek Lalonde was very obviously not the right choice to continue. Patrick Kane was just totally coasting along out there. But now that he's got Todd McLellan, a coach that he can actually trust and believe in, the guy's got 4 points in 2 games, and he's on pace for 164 points in the National Hockey League. Like Bolduc, this is absolutely guaranteed to happening, but at the same time, Patty Kane is going through this redemption tour that I don't know if anybody really expected at this point in his career. So with all this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a Red Wings fan or a Canadiens fan, we spoke about 4 players here today, and I want you to let me know how you feel about their seasons as they continue. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, then the dislike button's down there for you too. Comments help out with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it if you contributed to the conversation here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about Bolduc, Dobson, Kane, Bernard-Docker. That's a lot of B's and D's now that I think about it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.